Hey, hey, how's it going?
Good. Out on the beach.
All right. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, I had a few minutes. I figured I'd sign on any. Oh, sorry about. Oh, now I'm upside down, huh? And then like that should fix it. Yeah, fix it.
There we go.
Yeah, it's nice, nice view.
Yeah, nice.
The
Y'all.
boys, the boys are doing a sailing lesson, and so
Oh,
they're
very cool.
they're they're on the launch right now. The little motorboat going out to the sailboat. Just the boys, no grown-ups.
Hey, that's
So,
how you learn.
yeah, yeah. So I'm sitting on my speed wing and waiting for the wind to pick up. But it's perfect. It's I gotta actually I just uploaded a video of what we were doing with the speed wing with the kids just a couple days ago, and the wind was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So did you get some jumps in then?
No, I didn't get to over the weekend. The weather was not optimal. I think they did end up getting some more loads up on Sunday, but
Yeah.
I did get out and inspected that canopy I'd mentioned last week, and I learned some things during that inspection. So that's always great.
Yep. Good. All right.
I I
So
did not know that bug repellent, because they were talking about things that could damage the canopy, and I didn't know that bug repellent, especially that had DEET in it, could essentially melt.
it it could be bad on the nylon. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't know for sure, but because I haven't run that test,
Okay.
but I think it's certainly worth um, you know, just double checking it. You know, like I to actually take a swatch of ZP and do that. And it could be that it's a combination. Um, yeah, I think I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm just going to skip trying to change accounts because I'd have to go to a different YouTube account because I've got two, the private one and the public one.
No
Uh,
worries. We can catch it next week for sure.
Well, I'm going to load it up on the on Mighty Network, so you'll be able to click on it. But
Yeah.
I mean, basically, I mean, Matthew was able because he's light enough and the wind was strong enough. He was flying the whole time. He was up in the air, and I just stand there and hold him, or just sort of slowly walk forward, and his feet wouldn't touch the ground for minutes at a time.
Really. And
And
become very stable and
yeah, totally stable because it was blowing straight in from the water, and there's
yeah.
nothing better. I'm learning that the laminar flow, right? The idea is where it's non-turbulent, kind of on a micro level. There's a difference. There's more lift at the same wind speed. There's more lift here than there is, just inland, where you've got all sorts of chaos. It's not just a velocity thing. And so, because I've flown him in winds similar to that, and I couldn't fly like this.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting.
Interesting.
Do more beach jumps.
Yeah. Do you think it could have anything to do with the humidity of the air coming off of the ocean?
Um, well, I mean, humidity, as you increase in humidity, you're actually increasing density altitude.
Right.
So it's the other way around from what you would think. I mean, it's not super humid here. It's, it's been warm. Obviously, it's sea level, so that works in your favor. But it's, it's still pretty warm out. But I thought, oh, there we go. So we have Terrence showing up, I think. Um, the cool thing was how eventually he got so comfortable, and he was, I got so comfortable with his flying that I was able to, and we didn't film this yet, get him up, give him a good, kind of launch, and I'd let him go, and he'd free fly for a moment, flare, land, and then, so we worked through the sequence of, oh, you got to lean forward before you land, because this first one he landed right on his butt. The second one, he leaned forward, he landed on his feet, but he kept his hands down, and then the canopy dragged him. So I said, next one, as soon as you stand up the landing, put your hands back up, and he was able to just land and stand up repeatedly. He did easily 10 landings, and he even did one where he was crosswind, and he managed to stand up a crosswind landing and manage the wing and bring it back into the wind. And just standing there, I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
8 years old. So yeah, I think that this as a training tool, obviously for grown-ups, you'd need a bigger wing, but I think this would be an amazing thing. I mean, I understand the risers look different, the canopy responds a little bit differently, but the new speed wings are perfect for this kind of training.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, that definitely would help cut the edge on, the ground coming at you on your, first solo jump.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm imagining like the training course of the future being, where you like oh, it looked like Sharon was trying to get in, and
I see her
I'm
there.
here. I'm
Oh,
just
you are
listening.
there.
I
Okay,
am.
I just
I'm not doing
wasn't
video
sure.
because I've got lunch today. So,
Yeah. It's all good. I just wasn't sure if I had accidentally clicked, don't admit or whatever, and then it said you
well, I
can't
think
get
you've
in.
got it set now. I think it's now
Yeah.
set so it doesn't auto kick everyone out.
Got it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was just talking about how we theoretically in the future we could train our students where oops, my video's off. There we go. Where we actually are doing the VR to start with, so they have the navigation, you give them some different winds, they can fly their pattern and all that. And then the landing training is actual, not a simulation, it's actually flying a speed wing because it inflates so beautifully. And you just pull them up in the air and they get to flare and land.
Well, that would be so useful. I know that was where I had a lot of issues.
Yep.
Large canopy to be very safe, which gave a very distorted sight picture and led to a lot of bad habits.
Yeah.
So no, I think that would be very valuable and help open the discussion into how do we train it and not so much those who come in and they just nail it. Some people just do. It's awesome. But many of us don't, and a lot of them are women and they don't continue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of them are women. Yeah, that's true, but a lot of them are men as well. And I can't give you a percentage because I've never taken the numbers, but I'm astounded by the number of people that just get undertaught. They weren't taught enough information, but also they weren't taught the way they needed to learn it. And then they get frustrated and hurt and scared, and that's that. They don't feel safe.
And then you fold in a little bit of tunnel and you're starting to build a well-rounded program.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think that we need to just think a little further outside the box. Not just a little outside the box.
I'll volunteer a test subject or two.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I take this thing with me wherever I go, but I'm realizing I need a bigger one for bigger people. To be able to, just a little bit windy, let's get out there. Let's go, practice kiting, yes, for sure. But, the kiting skill is great for helping people put the wing on the ground, without getting dragged. But to be able to hang under a parachute and flare and land, and stay in balance and experiment while you're hanging there, and leaning forward and leaning back, it's real. I'll upload that video. I guess this evening when we get back to the house, and I can figure out a way to do it on the phone. But you'll be amazed watching little Matthew flying a parachute, just flying. He's so relaxed, and comfortable. And we got the other ones on there too. Just practicing kiting, keeping it up over your head. With little corrections, not only with your hands but also with your feet. Right, the wind goes to your right, you take a couple steps to your right, and goes to your left, and same. And all of that applies to when you land on a windy day and you've got a parachute that's trying to kill you. You can make that an experience that you enjoy. Maybe even stand there for a little while and do a little run, flare, and jump into the air. I do that all the time. I love it. Yeah, well, you can see there.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah, they're getting their sails up. My boys are out there in one of those sailboats. Oh, the one, the one on the left side. With
Wow.
the mainsail up. They're about to go. Yeah. So they've never done this kind of thing before. This is their second lesson. So their first vacation is 2 years. So they're having so much fun catching. We went fishing yesterday. Caught fish and ate them. They just surf taxis with a little porgy. Really kind of down their stretch. They're small and they're a lot of work to catch, but they're young. But anyway,
It looks so much better than our weather here, by the way.
Is it? Oh, yeah, is it nasty? I figured I'll walk you over to the water.
It's thundering here right now, and I've got dogs under my desk hiding.
Oh no.
I had one crying in the hallway, one standing in the windowsill, and one went and pooped in the hall. I'm like, no,
Oh
no.
no. Oh man. Well
Yeah,
here,
it's been raining for like what,
yeah,
2 days now?
I'll share this with you.
Oh.
My feet are in the water. See the little, I don't know how well you see that.
It's very clear.
It's super clear, yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of wind, which says to me that I'm going to want to drop my wing in a second. There's a spot. We we luckily are in a place where the wind is running parallel to the beach. So when the kids get back, I'm sure we'll be flying. If I had a tripod, I could just set that up, fly right now. Huh? That's an interesting idea. I just don't know how I would wrangle the camera while I'm doing all that. But it is the perfect situation for it. I mean, if you want me to, I could try. I can also just film it and then show you later. And then I'll have Laura talk. Because Laura and her sister are way out there in the sandbar because they wanted to take pictures of the boys launching. So they got that. So I'll see if I can find a sea critter for you. Let's see
Oh, critters.
Yeah. Oh, there's little fishies, but I'm not seeing anything super interesting yet. That's awesome. In the water.
Oh,
Yep. Here, wait. I'm tempted to do an underwater cam because I actually have a bag for it. But I don't know. I just thought it would be kind of. I was like, I could skip the session entirely, or just put in my little earbuds. That wind is probably really noisy in the mic, though, right?
I hear it, but I have clients that breathe worse than that.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to go along with you and kind of enjoy your experience here.
Yeah, exactly. This is
It's
atypical.
better than the dreary rain and thunder and, well, dog crap.
Yep. Well, these are the slip shells. So I don't know if you're familiar with the little slip shells that stack on top of each other, and you pull them off, and then you can scoop the stuff out and give it to the fish. And they go
Oh,
yeah.
you're not taking a hermit home, are you?
Oh no, we have enough. We have enough critters. Too many animals. I think at this point, we'll just leave them to live here. Yeah, looks like they're about to untie from the mooring. I think it's the one on the left. Yeah, number 12. Awesome. Yay. Well, so are there like any sort of questions or topics that you guys wanted to get into today? I mean, I'm here. Why not?
I'm drawing blanks on Tony. I did go back and watch the video, your interview that you mentioned.
Oh yeah, that was interesting, eh?
Yeah, that was very, very interesting to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell they're not used to doing interviews. They were a little stiff, but it's okay. But some of the topics relating to mental preparation, I thought were very interesting. That was, for me, something that I hope everybody gets the experience of. Just to be in a competition where you're really trying to keep your brain in the game. You're trying to stay in the right vibe, almost like a foreplay that you're building yourself up to this optimal performance state. I guess everybody's going to be a little different in how they focus themselves. I mean, I'm always running off into the forest if I can find, or like someplace like wherever you can sort of take a break. 5 minutes sitting on my butt in nature, meditating, and then I come back and I'm like totally focused. I do that a lot. I just have to let my teammates know that I'm running off so they don't get confused. Where's Brian? I think that's important too, isn't it?
An
I
oddity.
figured- What's that?
I was going to say an oddity that I have is that, and my teammates know this obviously, is I don't want to know the score during a competition. You know,
Yeah,
just don't tell me because it
yeah,
doesn't.
yeah. No, it doesn't change anything, does it? Yeah, yeah. Either way, you got to do your best, and if doing your best means ignoring the facts, right? It still could,
Yeah,
if you can keep
it's
yourself
very
feeling
true.
happy and hopeful, right? Happy and hopeful.
It's interesting. I listened to a podcast recently, Mike Rowe, who's I adore. Um, he had a whole segment on focusing on what you're doing, not how you're doing.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
by staying, and it echoes what you've said too about focusing on the what you're doing, being in the moment versus how are you doing relative to other people? Like, how are you doing in the competition? How his
Sure.
example was, how are you doing to the camera? He was
Mhm.
changing lights on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so running up and actually changing light bulbs, and you have to unhook, rehook. He looked
Yep.
down and realized he was completely unhooked. He was standing up there and had no safety lines connected. He had
Yeah.
become complacent.
Yep.
Complacency kills. He freaks
Yeah.
about this, and that prompted this series, the podcast that I was listening to. But very interesting, and I liked that analogy. So when we had the competition down in Houston, honestly, I didn't have any desire to look at the score. One, we were having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun. It was a good day, just a good vibe. And two, it didn't matter.
Yep.
It didn't matter how we were doing. It mattered what we were doing.
It's very healthy to me. I like that attitude. I'm just here to enjoy the experience.
Mhm.
And when we tally the numbers later, yeah, we'll get a sense of what we did, but I don't want to rob my whole day of that feeling of it's a perfect day by seeing, oh, we're in seventh or something.
Yeah, because
Whatever.
we were flying well, and we stopped focusing on those things. And
Yeah.
in the end, yeah, we kicked butt. It was awesome.
You did. Nice.
Yeah, we did. We did very well. Glad of that, and can't wait to see how we do coming up in September. I think that's going to be more fun.
Yeah.
But
That's
the same attitude will prevail of what are we doing, not
Yep.
how are we doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we might almost have our teammate convinced to try that too. We
We
have one teammate who's like, I want to know, how are we doing? What's the score? You know, what's going on? It's like, no, just go away here. Just go find out.
Yeah. Well, there's type A behaviors, but I still hold that we don't have to be type A people. You just recognize, oh yeah, I'm doing type A thoughts, and I can step out of them so that I can have greater enjoyment. Or I could realize I'm being way too type B, and I'm not getting anything done. I'm being too easygoing, and I got to step up my game a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So tends to be me. Yeah. This jetty goes for like a mile or more. It's awesome. I figured it'd be nice to share that view. Yeah, cool. Well, like I said, I'm gonna upload that other video, the one that I just that I shot. Laura wanted me to edit some more things as well before I go public with it, but I have a private version that you guys can see of the kiting, which was done literally right here. So this is a point. It's almost like a 90-degree angle with the beaches, and so you get really nice airflow in most headings. South is that way. So when the wind's out of the north or the south, you're fine. But yeah, anyway. And there's dunes down the beach that they don't like us to fly off of, but I figure if the wind becomes the right direction, we'll just do it until we get kicked off. Some little old lady in a fancy hat will come walking out with her pearls and say, "You can walk on the dunes." Okay. I didn't know. But it's the perfect scenario for when you've got that onshore upslope breeze. You get like 15 miles an hour wind. Any of us, even on like a 135 or a 150, you could just be going back and forth and back and forth. You just don't land. You just face away from the hill and then across the hill, and not get yourself so close to it that you're going to eat it. That's tempting, but too far away and you sink out. You have to stay relatively close to the source of your lift, if you will. Wow. Yeah, it's a good place to be. I just, being able to share this and kind of bottle it. I don't know if the video is going to be any good in the recording.
We could definitely.
You can see it. Yeah. One of my favorite things to do is to walk out, even though it's against the rules. You're not allowed to walk on the rocks. I think it's worth. Yeah, I think that's done. Down in between the rocks. Have you ever done that one? Where you go out on a jetty,
No.
and then you go in between the rocks is one of the coolest places in the world. It's like a nature show. Great place to go crabbing. Down in there. Like, yeah, there's loads of crabs and critters. Here's a piece of this. To share a moment. Yeah, it's been a couple years since we've been here. And if you guys follow us to Norway, there's a lot of great places like this in the south as well. I really hope that kind of thing works out, where we all just meet up somewhere and go do some in-hops, nothing sketchy. Just, a lot of them are like, okay, we're going to land on the beach and the wind is this direction, and you just do it. Do lots of those.
Norway's definitely on my list after seeing some of the videos.
Well, that's why I shoot them, to inspire more, because it's so funny to go to these places where you look all around and okay, maybe there's a couple of Danes, maybe there's a couple of Swedes, but mostly it's Norwegians. It's like, there should be Americans here to appreciate this. I think they would be more blown away than your average Norwegian who's like, yeah, I see this every day. So what? It's a 2,000-foot waterfall. I see those all the time. Oh, here you go. Little nature show. Inside the little caves.
Nice.
Mussels growing. You can eat them.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably good stew.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I mean, if we can find some scallops, you can eat them straight out of the ocean. Just crack the thing open.
I think Presley will pass on that one.
No, you're not a shelf.
I'm pretty picky.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, but going to a place like this makes me hungry. The seafood. Yeah, it's amazing. Yesterday, like I said, we caught a bunch of fish. We cooked them up for dinner last night. It was amazing. Just surf casting with a bit of real simple, like some fresh squid on a hook with a little weight. It's awesome. Well, I don't want to tie you guys up too much, but I thought it might be nice to visit with our chief instructor. These are both young gulls because they're brown. They're juveniles. Hello. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Hello, baby. Teach us how to fly. Teach us how to fly. Come on. Hello.
as long as he doesn't start screaming, mine, mine.
Mine, exactly. Totally. Yeah.
Kind of like the gulls in Galveston.
The gulls and yeah, these are gigantic. I don't know if it's the same breed or whatever, but I've never seen gulls bigger than here. I mean, their beaks are like this long. It's huge. Yeah, it's good timing at the low tide here. That's the boat we take to get here. So if you ever want to come, you just go to Hyannis and you grab the ferry. So, well, I mean, are there other things like, so sort of skydiving related topics? I mean, obviously I'm a little bit limited in what I can do. I don't have my computer here to pull up diagrams or graphs or whatever, but
Aaron,
amusement and abuse.
Well, one thing, I know nothing about wingsuits. I do
Yeah.
have one now.
Oh,
I know. I'm like, it was
nice.
just a good deal. It was a good deal, and I will get
Yep.
there eventually.
Yep.
So, but it's going to be a little bit. However, me being me, I don't know much about the different types of suits. So I do also have and I say potential because I'm waiting to hear back. I may not get it, but a Tony Arbird suit.
Arbird will not your first suit.
Not a first suit. No. This would be it'd be in a lot deal with there's a canopy and a rig that I want.
Yeah. Well,
I've got a problem, but that's a different issue. But
I mean, your Spectre would be great.
Oh yeah. The Spectre's fine, but I sold it.
Oh,
that's a long story. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I sold the 210 by accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It really was an accident. I miscommunications, but it's all right. But anyway, as part of this lot comes with a Tony Arbird suit, which I know nothing zip zilch about. Doing a little research. Intermediate.
It's kind of I mean, intermediate, but the truth is that a lot of folks use intermediates most of the time. I mean, to use a big suit in a group is a pain in the butt because you can't stay down. You can't stay with your group. You're always, you're too efficient. And so that's probably once you get past, the beginner class suit and you've really demonstrated, all the skills robustly, if you will, then that suit will be the one that you use maybe for the rest of your life. Because it'll have more than enough lift.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, since you're tall, right?
Yeah.
It might end up being literally more lift than you want.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking solos and you're flying around the clouds and you don't have to worry about staying down with chubby guys like me. It's I mean, there's a lot of advantages to. I mean, an Arbird is versatile. It flies both ways. It's not terribly hard to manage. A lot of people love that. Yeah, a lot of folks. I mean, you certainly have the two camps. There's a lot of folks that are like, oh, I just fly squirrel. Why? Well, you don't have a straight answer, right? It's just they're really good. There's a little bit of marketing going on here, but yeah, I think the Arbird is awesome. I think his iBird is the safest and best entry level suit in my opinion, because it's very versatile. It still gives you very good flights, so it's not so stripped down and tiny that you're going super fast and now you're pulling super fast, right? I worry about folks that are, on something like the original Swift that had a lot of leg wing, and I've had friends get hurt pulling because they're on a small suit and they don't manage it well. They're already going fast and they tip a little head down as they're pulling, and it whacks them. So there's some advantages to right off the bat learning how to truly fly on that first flight. Yes, you do your practice pulls, but make sure you learn how to slow down So I think that on that first jump, in addition to some controlled turns, to flying a decent pattern, in doing practice pulls, obviously, you've got to learn how to flare and then sort of drop your nose as you do the pull sequence. Sort of flare and then gently drop your nose. But when this is a problem with these small
Makes
fests.
sense.
They're already going so fast.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, first of all, you got to make sure that sucker fits you, like really fits you.
Right.
It's
And that's probably going to be the issue. I will likely end up selling this. If for no other reason, even as far as height and all, the guy says he's 6'1", guys tend to exaggerate, but we'll see. But I don't know if I can fake a size 14 shoe. I just don't
yeah,
think I can
booties,
fake that.
but yeah, I understand what you're saying. And booties can be modified. You know, if the booty's going to be falling off your foot, that's an issue. And so that's something where you put it on and then you sort of get an idea of how much needs
Okay.
to be taken in. And then you send it to Flora, you know, or whoever's going to do I don't know if it's Jean or Joan, the little old lady, and they'll tighten up
Mhm.
the booties for you so you're not falling off.
Oh, okay. Well, that is true. It could have it if it's close enough. See, and
Yeah,
again, as I said, this is something that was included in
down the road.
down the road, and it's in a lot deal, and I don't know if I'm going to get it, but if I do, it's always
Okay.
useful to have a sense.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
do. The suit that I actually bought that's for me that fits is a I want to make sure because I have a Phantom helmet, but I think it's a
Uh-huh.
Phantom 2.
Uh-huh. Yep. Phantom
Yeah,
2 is
Phantom 2
it's a
wingsuit.
nice,
Yeah.
it's a very good suit. It's a lot of people start with that one. Some people start with there's an acro version of that doesn't have grippers, and the name of it's slipping my mind, that a lot of people also use, just because you don't have anything to hold on to, you just have hand straps that are kind of always there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Laura ended up with. Oh, I don't remember. It'll come to me. The Shadow. So either one of those are great. I have no problems with those suits at all. I just like the simplicity of Tony's, because you can reach up and grab your toggles without unzipping. That's kind of cool for starters. And if you wanted to try one of those for 1 or 2 jumps before going to your Phantom, I wouldn't blame you. You know, there's a lot of advantage to that. And some people even do a tracking suit, a few of those before they even move to an actual Ram Air wingsuit.
Yeah, no, I've talked to Donaldo here in Dallas to get some feedback, and so I'll at some point when it's not as busy, summer's not the right time, I'll spend some time with him and Ryan doing tracking.
Yes.
Build up to the basics.
Yeah.
And then one day
Yeah.
put that on. But that's, as I said, that's at least a 6 to 9 month on ramp.
Yeah. Well, but that you can be on the on ramp for the whole time, or you can wait until you think it's time and then you begin training. I suggest starting your training right away.
Yeah.
And so if you've got a snail blower, the carpet blowers, the ones that it's a tubular thing that pulls out there's like a strip of air that comes out for drying out carpets. You can rent them at Home Depot or whatever. Amazing. Very similar. If you lay on a creeper and you scoot back on the creeper just enough that your leg wing is still getting inflation as well under the creeper, it's so similar. And then you get this feeling of being in the suit and flying, and close your eyes and imagine it. And then you practice the pull sequence and you're like, oh, wow. When I reach in, there's resistance because the wing's pressurized and it doesn't want to allow me. So this way you're not surprised in the actual event at all in terms of the sensations in your body. That, to me, that is a huge kind of intermediate step that allows you to really feel like you're training. And feel like
How
you're
about
training.
that? I would not have thought of that.
Amazing. We use them a lot for demos. So like we'll do for years we did the Air and Space Museum gig where I'd have the biggest suit, of course, the biggest suit in my arsenal, and I'd inflate that, and all the kids would come over and they'd take turns sitting on my rig and posing for a picture like a dragon rider. It was great. So yeah, I think that's a really good one. And the other thing that's smart to do is to practice, putting on, oops, sorry, the full kit, and hanging up, clip into some sort of a hanging harness setup, and just to get an idea of what it feels like when you first open. What does it feel like to unzip? Now I got to get my leg wings. Go through the routine. What if it's an emergency situation? How am I going to handle that? What are the handles going to look like? Is this suit set up so that when I hang, my emergency handles hide inside the suit? It's better to figure that out in a hanging harness than an actual skydive when you don't have any handles to pull, right? So you have to like unzip to get to your handles. I mean, come on, it's not an option. So yeah, and you can even do that with a blower fan, where you practice unzipping with the resistance and inflation, just to get good at it, right? In this kind of low
Mhm.
stress situation, the first couple times you put the thing on, you're like, you're just scared. Just standing there on the ground with the full kit, touching your handles, and imagine, okay, so I have to kind of go up and over the wing as I reach. I can't go this way with my hand. I have to go up and over the wing. And the feeling starts to become more natural, and the adrenaline starts to go away. And the more you put on your suit and just sort of walk around, spread your wings out and go like this and picture the exit. I'm going to stay small and keep those arm wings closed, right? Keep them closed for the first 2 seconds. Some say 3, whatever, at least 2 seconds. And then I'm going to open up. And am I going to, if I open up just my leg wing, I'm going to go in my head. If I open up just my arm wings, I'm going to stall, possibly backflip. And so you just practice that sequence of smoothly opening everything. What's the body position? We get that blower fan going. How am I going to roll my shoulders, keep my head, sort of my chin forward, for a better flying position? I think it's a good idea, to have your coach watching your body position with that blower fan kind of situation. And they go, oh, that's good, but you're too arched, or you got to stick those feet out more. You got a little bend in your legs. You're like, oh, I don't want to go too fast. The suit wants you to go forward. Stick your feet out, keep them out. You can slow down with your knees. There's lots of other options, but the bending your legs is kind of a last resort. And we try not to do it because the leg length gets all crazy. So you kind of keep those legs out. So that's a start. And if you have if you're gonna have a suit lying around your house, I say keep putting it on. Even if it's next year that you're going to be jumping, put it on.
That is a good point, especially the adrenaline, because that does hit you.
And
It's kind of like that first ray.
It'll be less. Yeah, it'll be less if you just keep dipping your toe in the water, and then that cold doesn't feel so cold. You know what I mean? Before you know it, you're swimming, which I will be doing right here shortly. Yeah, right about now, I think Laura and Wendy are like, "Where'd he go?" I told them that I was going to do this. And they're like, "All right, it's your vacation." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I know it's my vacation, but I canceled it, a session just a few weeks ago, so I didn't want to do that." I don't know about tomorrow night though. We'll see. It's a little snail. There you go. Cute little sneegler. I don't know if that's, there we go. That's focus.
It's just focused.
Oh, yeah. Sneegle. The Norwegians call a snail a sneegle, but they also call a slug sneegle. So it's like a homeless snail.
But which ones do
Yeah.
they eat?
They don't eat a lot of snails.
No, it's
They're not. No, that's much more of a French thing. Yeah, they're not into it. I mean, I'm sure when they go to France, they do it just like everybody else, but no. Give them a big pile of salmon or reindeer.
Reindeer would be interesting to try.
It's good. It's really good. Yeah, a little lingonberry sauce. I love that. You can get it at IKEA, but I don't think that you can get reindeer. Hello. There you go.
Oh, that was a pissed off bird. He was
Well,
loud.
yeah, well, that was the adult coming over here. Oh, look, the adult's feeding the child. Yep, sure enough. Yeah, the mama came over with some fish and fed it to the baby. Yeah. And I think she was kicking out another young one. Get out of here. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Well, so yeah, there's some suggestions for getting started with that. But yeah,
Well, thank you.
intermediates, all of it, whether it's you're talking swooping or demos or 4-way or your first 100-way, baby steps, you know, not just thinking, all right, I'll get there when I get there and I'll train when I get ready. It's like, no, you'll get ready because you'll start training now when it's inappropriate to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It
As I
wouldn't be
said.
right to actually do it, but you just keep working towards those goals and you keep gathering that information and
Yeah. Well,
then when
because
you
part
get
of it,
yeah,
part of it
That is-
absolutely has been canopy,
Yep.
becoming more confident, better under
Yep.
canopy, because
Yep.
nothing's worse than having issues under being too light under canopy and then having a gust really blow that wingsuit around. No, not good. So canopy
Well, yeah,
progression's been part of
yeah.
it. Definitely need to work on track, body position. There's a lot, but
Yep.
I've reached out, started the
Step by step.
conversations, but I do like that idea of the leaf blower.
Yeah, well, an actual leaf blower is the same wind velocity, like 100-mile-an-hour wind.
Mhm. But we
That's
really
what
need
Tony,
the carpet blower with the
but-
flat.
well, because it's wider. Yeah, it's a wider airflow, so you're both of your wings inflate. Yeah.
Gotta go, guys. A work call.
Okay.
You got to work all right. Well, I'll let you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
But-
same for me. I've got to drop in about 15, so
Right.
it's probably a good idea for me to eat the
Mhm.
lunch that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Seaweed. All
Yeah,
right.
boy, go-
Well,
good luck.
thank you so much,
Oh,
Brian.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Bye to the seagull.
She's just gonna get mad at you. Come poke your eyes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at those wings.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Well, I'm glad I got to share this experience.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for sharing the nature. It's so beautiful there. So not
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, I'm gonna do some kiting. I'm gonna try to get more on film, sort of the education about how to, bringing the wing up and keeping it centered and all that. Hopefully the wind will cooperate and escalate a little for us.
there you go.
All right.
Thanks. Have a great one.
You bet.
Catch you next
too.
week.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.